Wooden beam, something that you can really take good advantage of in Villa. If you look at the ceilings, it might not be something that you do too often, but whilst the players are running around, not in the basement, anywhere else but the basement, you'll notice they're all they just sort of completely defeated my point.
It's there. Fine, keep going, keep rolling.
You can see above you now. Thank you, Citizen. There's beams absolutely everywhere. It can be a nightmare when you try to play vertically.
Didn't spot Citizen. That was it, and the pressure's come through, and that's a free kill. Swung round, didn't check the corner, and Citizen painted a picture inside art, and it was, hey, mate, welcome to the room.
Welcome to Big School, as he gets the kill there. But not before Cantor had gone by the wayside. Cantor, of course, playing down in the basement. He's going to be shut down on that roam. Nice and early. So that's Noera and Cantor. Jaeger and Iana gone 4x4. Black Eye Cam's getting taken out. We are downstairs in dining and kitchen this time around. G2 just mixing things up to start, not going to the usual top floor site. Spark going to take a good chunk of damage there. And Blaz is going to take even more. Citizens on an absolute tear at the minute. He's just flipping 180 this side to that inside of Piano, playing a tune for them, and he's leading them a merry dance at the minute as they can't get anywhere near him. And he just takes hit points, lives, names, numbers, everything he can get.
3 remaining bodies, and all of them are focused on Piano, and Citizen is somehow still standing. Kayak gets caught in the crossfade there, but Virtue locks off the support structure and finds Spark. Chaoxis finally stops Citizen, puts us into a 2 versus 2, but with the separation over 2 stories, they've got to try and reconvene and get that diffuser.
Some round-winning information, but you got to remember the important thing is he does leave himself out of the fight, and that's why he's got himself back up them stairs into the kitchen and ready for that final 30 seconds in sight. We've got Virtue, we've got Uno, they're holding things down. Virtue on the SMG, Uno on the UMP, so not the best guns in the world here. However, Virtue will find the best shot in the world, a headshot onto Chaoxis, and that is followed up by a second, a 2 for Virtue, finishing off the round for G2, and that is a good ground floor defense to start things off. Got into a power position, now what do they do with it? And Uno's looking to get aggressive and challenge onto that window, but taking a little bit of chip damage, he's just going to back away. He's having absolutely no part of that, and it is really now in the hands of TrainHard as to what comes next in this round. But the big question on all of our lips is it going to be what TrainHard wants that comes next? And Kayak, he's not too sure it is going to be, as he finds a headshot to open things up, and that's the Ash of Blaz gone into the dirt.
Well, Kayak might not be aware that that's open. Now he is, as he pops up and sees it, digs himself behind the bar to keep some safety. The final canister pops round the corner and forces them back, but with 45 seconds, well, they still have time to reconvene. It looks like red stairs might be a potential point of ingress. Nora is actually going to come back around and offer some support with the Gemini. Kayak suffers from a long-range frag grenade, probably from that side. It's actually underneath. Durza is digging up to see if they can dishevel the man that is behind the bar, but with the pump shotgun ready, he swings up, pops round, and tries to get the second for the round. It's actually the cover over the shoulder from Kanto that gets one more. There's another head pop by Kayak, keeping control of Long. The pressure's on the window. Everything is coming up G2, and Chaoxis started the round with some quick pressure onto Long and is going to end it, unfortunately, not even getting in the building. Obviously, Kayak dug in on that corner behind the shield, and he's dug out Blaz and taken care of that body. Virtue has the camera in the eye, and the idea someone's rotating. What a time to go to it. There's one, there's dropped, and there's an angle and a swing and a pick, and Virtue finds the saving grace. Kayak finds a fight elsewhere in the meantime, as Norea is forced back down red and back away from landing, with Uno yet again on the heels with that pulse. Tight angles. No one is taken out as they find themselves still standing and suffering, and all of this is just playing into the hands of G2, but Spark finds something back. Finally, they've been able to spill some blood onto the site itself. They need to try to clear themselves a bit of an opening, a bit of a gap, to try to get a little bit more of a chance at pulling a round away.
Uno is just causing a problem here, and he's not being challenged, and that is the bigger issue for TrainHard. They need to be recognising the value of the information that the Pulse is feeding. They need to be getting down underneath, challenge him in 2s and 3s, just get him cornered, get him killed, and get themselves an advantage, and that's something they've really failed to do so far.
Chaoxis swings round and gets one. There's Uno, though, waiting and baiting and prey, and that's a frost mat against Spark, I believe, or potentially shot up from underneath. There it is, and there it goes. Oh no, the Pogmat, it's back. tries to take the fight. Are they really just going to hope that they can dig in, overwhelm the site, put the plant down and put us in a post-plant before the bodies above can react properly? Or can they start playing some tricks like this? There's a cooked grenade and there's a Canto Raketti.
Very nice nade from Derza onto Cantor. Cannot over-egg the difficulty of those nades onto the ceiling. You've got to have them timed exactly right, and that is what Derza does now. Chaoxis shuts down Kayak. Citizen does get one in between for G2, but still find ourselves in a 3 versus 2. But one concern that remains for me for TrainHard is they're not always dealing with those ancillary players well enough. They're going straight to site, route 1. This time, it seems to be working out for them. Derza is getting the diffuser down. Citizen is fighting. That's a 1 versus 2 now after he gets himself the first onto Chaoxis. He's still going to have to find 2 more, but he is full health and he may well have some information inside of sight. I don't know exactly where the black eye cameras were set up by Uno, but it looks like the angles are pretty much covered. He wins 1. He brings it to a 1 versus 1. Surely not. Citizen is looking to clear this out. Does he know where the last man is? He moves around Derza after getting the plant, shuts down Citizen, finds the headshot they need to gain sight. There's 2 ways to push this really. You can move in from the south as we saw TrainHard do last time. They got very good control over the south stairs and the 90 corridor, but they weren't really able to make sort of anything pay from it to get the dividends from that map possession. So this time they are looking to move in from the north side, which will be through Astro as they move up through into the astronomy room, and they'll push through Trophy and Master, clear out any roamers along the way, and then look to aggress onto site. The one danger here is that you can get caught funneling in through the single door that's on the northeast side of sites. That's something they need to be very careful of, but Derza and Blaz, they open us up and TrainHard are here to play him. That's 3 without response from G2.
This was the question I had before. The next time we were up here, are they going
He's just going to hold his angle and just back off while that smoke canister goes out now. 45 seconds left on the clock. There is still a lot of pressure for Kayak and Virtue to absorb here.
Kayak gets the first and pulls away. It's Blaz. He's looking to try and get the swing on the second, but he's a bit too deep. Unfortunately, the shotgun doesn't work that far, but Virtue finds the trade and has 30 seconds to see if he can find 3 more or stop that precious diffuser. There's the pings. They're constant and they're threatening, and that's all 3 bodies, but the rotation is coming around the big opener. He's buried in the back of a gun vault. He peppers bullets towards 1, but they're sticking the plant behind the bar. In the meantime, it's still covered, and it's still TrainHard to find their second. Chaoxis has led them back into some rounds before. Big rotations are coming out, and Spark is at least able to get Virtue. And with a minute 20, it's a little bit of, okay, Chaoxis is digging himself underneath towards the library, and we can see them stacking up across the top floor as well. They're reconvening and trying to rotate and isolate, which is the play right now, but it's concern. Look at this, 2 stories, and he's met in the middle by Uno, and that puts them in a much darker position.
Uno and Canto have just had an absolute field day here in round 6. There's been no ability whatsoever to shut them down underneath. Citizen finishes things off with a nice double from side.
A big rotation is seemingly coming out all the way to the bedroom. The lion scan goes off yet again, and nobody is caught, I say, until the very end, where somebody is around the top, though. Look at the pace that they're applying there. Instantly swanning towards Blaz there across the top. They find him, they lock it down, and now they've been able to find that coveted bit of control and cover towards the site itself. Still with 50 seconds left, but that is elusive body dropped, and that is a huge amount of map that has suddenly fallen into their hands.
I can see 2 silhouettes ahead of us. I can't see the 3rd player for the side of TrainHard. He's down there on side stairs. That's where. So we've got all 3 accounted for on top floor. Derza gets a wonderful kill in the 90 corridor there just to level things up 3-3. 30 seconds left to go. And G2, they need to start getting decisive here and thinking about exactly how they're going to make this push. They've got players on both sides of the site, which could be a nice benefit for them. Virtue doesn't quite catch the head of Spark there, just moving across. Canto is able to get into sight and start getting that diffuser down, but out goes the Nitro and will catch him. Meanwhile, Virtue does take down Sparks. That leaves us 2 versus 2. Diffuser back in hand, and now Virtue has the freedom to cover this plant, and that's exactly what he tries to do, but it's going to be Chaoxis who beats him on the reverse angle. What a shot coming out of Chaoxis.
Dug in the gun vault and made sure he made it count. Beautiful
push and create a little bit of pressure at the minute, but as we can see, Canto and Kayak have both moved themselves away and they are heading over to the north side. So I dare say that Spark, he's going to find himself under a little bit of pressure in that bathroom very, very soon.
Well, the team talk has worked. 2 kills off the bat, and it looks like they're angling themselves for this third. Blaz is the one that's loose underneath in Mudroom, concerned about the possibility of the hop-in on the window that they played before, but it's a little bit of a standoff right now. The standoff, however, seems to be playing to the favor of G2, who can body press the site and get one more. They've got to move back. They've got to find it, but they don't. The cover was there, and so is a flawless round. Drop, the E1D comes through, but there is no instant follow-up. More flashes, more grenades, more utility to get this one body out. The crossfire comes through. Blaz is able to pick up some of the pieces and keep them safe. For now, everything is starting to be learned and lessons are read through study. Citizen gets revenge, gets the cover, and that leaves them yet again isolated. They seem like they might be trying to pull out, but with the windows hold either side, it's Chaoxis that gets dropped. Nore finally finds some blood, finally finds something, and also finds himself back on site.
Last time around at this point, G2 did decide to rotate, and we saw Kanto and Kayak move away towards Master Bedroom, but this time it looks like they are largely committing to the south side push, except we do see Kayak outside of the map, just slowly making his way around there, and Uno joining him on the roof as well. So some adjustment to the G2 attack here. Obviously happy that they've cleared out that south side roam, and they know now that it's time to think about building some pressure onto site, as Noera has dipped back. Spark is there anyway, as he's spent the entire round playing on site. 30 seconds left to go, and G2 need to get a move on here.
That's it. It's down to a 3 versus 2. It is far from impossible, especially with those smoke canisters still in pocket under the 30-second mark. 2 of those can buy a huge amount of time on a single door. It's just whether they can get the swing. Nore opens up in the best possible way, gets one, gets dropped and traded. They know exactly where they are. There's the first of those canisters. They dig through because they got to get that diffuser and get it back to a place they can plant. They find it, and they have Kayak trusted on that cover, and why not? He's been phenomenal so far. A post-plant situation now. Spark in a 2 versus 1. No more canisters. He threw both of them deep, and well, it's just trying to find one of these two. Isolate the firefight. They know where he is, but he's got a shotgun, and it's a close angle to swing on. He's concerned of just where they are, and there he is. Pops them and drops them. Less than 30 seconds now to go on the timer. Kayak is playing deep, and that shotgun won't work at this range. And Kayak, he certainly does. G2 map point, which is no easy task any day of the week, let alone at the end of Super Week. The E1D rains out in the sky, and Kanto Raketti tries to pull the trigger on the LMG. Oh no.
I think that could be the beginning of the end there, as Kanto just hits a fantastic pre-fire. Just as the man moves across the doorway, he knew that he was peeking. He knew Noera was just bouncing backwards and forwards, and he took full opportunity and popped his head like a cantaloupe as he did. And that leaves us 5 versus 4 with the Jaeger off the board. So not the biggest loss for TrainHard. The ADS utility will already be out there and in use for the team. What they need to do is now find a kill or two. They need somebody like Chaoxis. They need somebody like Durza, Blaz, anybody at this point to step up and get a kill or two and give them that man advantage, so they're not playing from behind. Allowing Uno to walk in from behind, from the reverse of site, and just take one-shot headshots onto people is not going to help the cause here. We have 2 kills rain back in, but it won't be enough, as 2 more are answered from Citizen and Kanto, and that is a quick finish for G2.